Okay, colleagues, my optimists, my students, my realtors, all of those of you who have joined me on social media, those of you who are committed to making a difference in other people's lives, thank you so much for joining me. Um, I am here to show you how you can take and buy an apartment building, income property, without putting up any cash. Now, I would suppose you wouldn't not take lessons from someone how to make $10 million that never made $10 million. So I've closed more real estate transactions without cash than any other Detroiter in history. We've closed about $2.2 billion. Now, the reason that I closed the deals without cash is that I didn't have any cash. And so I want to show you, those who have a burning desire like me, who want to be a straight shooter, who can work the numbers, that who have a burning desire and who's willing to invest in themselves, how you become wealthy. And the good news is I'm not going to charge you $30,000 like everybody else charge you to teach you how to do it. I'm going to show you right off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to review with you what our master guide is really about. We have what you call a master guide and getting started. What is it about? And I'm going to go through that. And then I am going to take and do some real teaching. I'm going to get you started. This is not just a promotion. I want you to listen because this may be the most important 15 minutes that you've ever spent. So get buckled and get you a cup of coffee because the next 15 minutes belong to me. So let's get started. First of all, welcome to our real estate, what we call our master class. And I'm Herb Strather, and I'm not going to take you everything that I've done, but I've done quite a few things. I was number one real estate agent at 19. I created Strather Academy 50 years ago. At 27, I acquired 1,000 units. I sold the largest apartment building in Michigan at 43. I had done a lot of work for my church. I sold Stephen Ross, CEO of the related companies, owned Miami Dolphins. I sold him $265 million worth of deals. I created the Summer Leader Institute at Harvard. And you can take a look at some of the things I've done. I created the casino here in Detroit. And I created the Woodbridge Estates. And some of the things I've done that I'm most happy about, I've created 150 Optimist clubs in the world. And I was Realtor of the Year twice, and recently Detroit Association Realtors President. So that's me. I said I wasn't going to talk too much about it, but that's me, because some of you may not know about me. And Strather Academy was born in 2006 for the same thing, to create wealth. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes, because I know you're not here to find out about me. You want to know what can this do for you, and that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, we created a 6 credit hour master class. It's called Getting Started. Our normal class is 32 hours. Our normal class, 32 hours, $5,000. You can take this course for 10% of that amount, and you can take and learn what you wanted to do and get started. I had way less than this. If I had this and when I was getting started, it would have been a wonderful thing. So let's just go over what is it that you're going to do. First, let me go over the series, what you're going to do, and then I'm going to get into the meat. Under the first series, and there are 6 hours, this is the first 4 hours, is getting ready, finding deals, and running numbers. That's 4 hours. And what does that mean? This means you're going to assess yourself, assessing yourself. What do you bring to the table? Do you bring skills? Do you bring marketing? Are you mechanical? Like me, I'm creative. I'm not mechanical. I like marketing, you understand? But I'm not great at fixing things. But some people are super at fixing things. They may not be as creative. They may have other skill sets. But these things are important to understand what you bring to the table. If you're not a good manager, then you may want to partner with people that like to be property management. So first, assess yourself and do a realistic assessment. Then set your goals. Create entities. Set your goals, and not only your goals, your dreams. Now, this is important because once you set your goal, let's just say you say, I want to buy a 30 unit apartment building. Well, a 30 unit apartment building at an average cost of around 65,000 a unit is somewhere around a couple $1,000,000. So you're going to need to show you got $400,000, 20% down. Do you have that? If you don't, we have to create a balance sheet for your goal. So you're going to set your goals, and then you're going to create the entity that's going to get you there. Now, if you don't have a lot of cash, you may want to do a 501c3 and let that do your negotiation for you. Because a 501c3, it could give a tax write-off where you and I can't. So you have an unfair competitor in there, and you can kick everybody's butt. Now, I got it. The 501c3, your newly created 501c3 don't have any cash, but that's okay. If you structure the deals and understand how to structure it, you get all the cash you ever want, because remember, money follows deals. Deals don't follow money. So get the deal. And then we have what you call BYOB, which I'm going to go through in detail and I'm going to show you, because this getting ready is I'm going to go through this and get you started, because I want to get you started. Let's talk about it. You're going to learn how to find and underwrite off-market income properties. Now, you're not going to find that out today. If you take the course, you're going to find it out, and you're going to love it. The course also have a case study, a pro forma. Like we do what you call a pro forma, which is a projection of the income and expense, and ours we created ourselves. Just fill in the blanks, and it automatically fills it in for you, and you'll love it. And then we're going to take you through a letter of intent, how to do a letter of intent first. Because you'll be literally a fool to take a purchase agreement without doing the letter of intent, unless it's plain black and white. But us, we like to get the seller to agree what they take first, and then we add our magic to it afterwards. And believe me, that's the best way to do it. Then the PA comes, and then we take you through and this course will show you how to finance. So, and the last 2 hours is wonderful. There's going to be a break, and then you're going to review series to fully finance income property. You're going to review strategies. I'm going to take you through one case study. I'm going to do a case study. Well, the case study is actually right above you. So you will have done the case study, and in the break, it is a series of what you would learn in the big class. So what is a survivable letter of intent? It's something that survives the purchase agreement. Review basic SA structured purchase agreement, SA is Strather Academy. View our structured deal. Review how beards and wholesalers work. You may be a wholesaler, you may be a beard. You can create a LLC and be a beard yourself. Review bargain gift sales. I've done more than probably anyone in the United States as far as buying. My philosophy has always been this: if they didn't say you can't, if they did not say you can't do it, then you can do it. I never wonder why don't people create 501c3 and let it become the buyer? I mean, just straight out real estate buying, affordable community development, period. Well, that's what we've done, and that's what you're probably going to get into. Then we're going to review this reviews joint venture agreements and how they work, and residential options, FHA, VA, NACA, and PACE. And what we call a PACE combo, let me tell you something. You could go find you one of these commercial buildings with 4 units on top, or 6 units, as long as you can convert them down to 4. It could be 8, just convert them to 4, and after the closing, convert them back. But here's the deal. Did you know that under PACE, you could buy it, a NACO and PACE, and you could fully finance and pull out cash, not just the real estate, but your business. Think about it. Your business. Okay. Now here's what we're going to send you to make sure. I told you about we're going to give you assessment. So we're going to send you what we call assessing yourself. Then we're going to set you goal setting, your 5-year goal. And then we're going to create your master LLC and entity. And I'm going to discuss some of that with you now. And then we're going to perfect your personal financial statement. And we're going to discuss that now, because we're talking about how to get ready. I told you I'm going to teach you something that's going to be very, very valuable to you, something that you're not going to learn at a University of Michigan or other places. institutions of higher learning. But you got to have this here, Institute of Entrepreneurship, everybody. You can believe that. And then to be your own bank, BYOB, be your own bank. What does that mean? You're gonna faint. Just make sure. Okay, we're doing it. There's a master LLC. There is a family LLC. There's membership interest, and there's a participating note holders interest that we would say. Now, what does all of these things mean? A master LLC or a family LLC is when you set up the LLC and you put your family, your members in it, whoever you want to transfer this wealth to. But this master or family should not own real estate. It owned the entities that own the real estate. It owned those membership interests. Participating promissory notes holder is something that you won't ever read about it because it's something we created within Strather Academy. And we'll get involved in that because you may not, it is a form of ownership, of economic ownership in the LLC, and we would get heavily involved into that. Now, what kind of limited liability entities are you going to use that you can create? A L3C, a low income. Now, that's great. They're out 3 years, and here you can negotiate with foundations. They can actually become a part in joint venture with you. Isn't that something? A 501c3 corporation, this gives you a license to steal. It gives you a license to provide tax write-offs, what we call the blue sky. And nobody ever want to buy something and pay the full price. There's always blue sky above it. But if you and I both offered 100 grand, but I offered 125, 100 grand plus a $25,000 write-off, I win. As a matter of fact, if I offered 95,000 cash and turned around and gave them a $25,000 or $30,000 write-off, I could still win. I can offer less money and win with the 501c3. Ecclesiastical nonprofit corporation. We have what you call, I call that the cheap man's 501c3, by the way. So here's what we got, everybody. We also have a limited partnership. Now, that's what we used to have before there was LLCs, limited partnerships, but they're still very useful, especially if you're going to do a joint venture. You may want to convert the seller to a limited partner so they won't have to sign the mortgage. Assumed names, well, be careful about it. If it's an assumed name of a LLC, that's one thing, but an assumed name, just an assumed name by itself, it still gives you all the exposure and liability, to be very careful. And the same with a co-partnership. It's personally liable. That's why the LLCs were created in the first place. So here's what we do for our students and what we would do for you. And if you join us, you would get an hour to sit down and have this interview with me. We do what you call convertible participating promissory notes. That means you may not have credit now. You may screw it up if you get into the deal. So you just stay to the side with a convertible note. You still get your percentage economic interest, but it's from a note holder and not from a membership. We have skip generation trust. You're going to leave your kids just so much money. If they screw theirs up, they ain't going to screw up their kids' money. Or it goes sideways. If they don't have kids, the other heirs get it, the other siblings get it, and they can only screw up so much money. You have poison pills. All of us have somebody out in the family to go do things they're not supposed to do. They're in the partnership with us. They do something stupid. Somebody sue them and follow them into the partnership. No way. It automatically kicks them out if anybody files anything to the partnership. This is very important. If somebody files anything to a partnership, a LLC, a L3C, a S corporation, or any entity, put poison pills in. And you know something about a LLC that's so beautiful, everybody? Nobody knows who owns a LLC unless you tell them. Now that gives you a lot. So that's huge. Now I told you one other thing about the art of creating a balance sheet, about getting rich before you get rich. And I'm going to explain this very carefully, but I don't want you to go out and try it until you firmly understand it, because they're going to think you're smoking or something. So let's just go through this, because we did create it, and it's not a smoking deal. It is a very, very, very solid deal, but you have got to understand it. So let's just start off like this. Let's say you had, I'm going to summarize this for you. There's a young lady here, and this was her financial statement before and afterwards. I'm going to go straight to the before and afterwards right here. And I'm just going to explain it to you in simple terms. I loaned her $50,000. She put in her personal name. And that's why she got $50,000 right here on her assets. And then she borrowed, and her company borrowed the money out, her LLC, and gave me my money back. Now look, the LLC is in her personal name, but the liability is not in her name. The liability is in the LLC's name. Now, why wouldn't the liability be in her name? If she borrowed that money in her own personal name, it's not a mortgage, it's nothing to advertise the debt but her income, her credit score would drop 50 to 90 points the next day. So don't dare try it. However, your LLC needs credit anyway. Now, there's a way that you have to do this in order for this not to hit your credit report, because do not forget, the bank still wants you to sign, although it's fully collateralized. But we have things that we call pocket guarantees and a couple other methods so it won't hit your credit report. That's key. But let's look at this. So I loaned her 50 grand. Now she makes $90,000. That's her salary, but she was making really over 90. But she took a $40,000 salary. Let's take 90. She take a 40 salary, and she take $50,000 for income for her LLC. Now think about it. That's profit for her, what was a LLC. So her first step she had to do was convert the LLC to subchapter S, and she become employee. You cannot be an employee of a LLC. Let's get that straight. You can't be the member and employee. That don't work. You got to convert it. So now she got a subchapter S. She takes a salary, and the subchapter S made 50 grand. So everything else is the same. Here, her securities, her cash for life insurance, everything else, except that the 50 is reflected here. Instead of having 10, she got 50. Everything else is the same here, except right here, it says businesses and joint ventures. Look here, her automobiles are the same. Her furnishings are the same. The personal assets are the same. Her real estate that's shown the house are the same, but it says businesses and joint ventures 333. What is that? That, my friend, is the value of her subchapter S or LLC. That's the value of her business right now. Why? Because 50 grand at 15% return is 333,000. Now the return gets skinnier, less as the company gets big. But a company her size got to at least pay out. If she went to sell it, she could sell it maybe for 300,000. I mean, if it was something that was absolutely, she could sell it right out front, the cash flow stream. And you may have those kind of businesses. You may not be driving a truck. You may be selling anything that you have that is a 1099 rather than a W-2, you can do this on. And don't forget, it comes with a whole bucket of tax write-offs. You do your LLC, you write off your car, your lunch, your clothes, half your house or room in your house. It goes on and on and on. But just look how beautiful this is. So at the bottom line, look at the bottom line. She had 88,100 before she met me. And afterwards, she discovered her real net worth was 429, 433. And you're the same way. How much did you have before you met me? Now, what's going to happen after you meet me, after you join the class, after you become a part of us? I'm looking for only serious people that have a burning desire. And if you do not have a burning desire, don't take the class, please. I only want people that want to do it. Now, be your own bank. All right. So, everybody, I hope that you really understand what we have done and that you like it. And I'm just kind of flipping through here for you. And I want you to take this course. Now, here's the offer I'm going to give you. It's $500. It's $500 for the class. I want you to take it. And let me know, those of you who've taken it, you can send us a memo, 313-444-9691. If you want a direct conversation, an hour to discuss your family, your master, your family LLC, we're going to allow that. But you've got to reach out to me and let us know that you want that, and we'll set up a time for you. So thank you so very much. And your instructions to get the class, just go to Strather Academy, hit the link below, and that you'll see a button there that you can take the class. And let's get started, y'all.
Good. Good job, Mr. Strather.
Do you think it needs to be cut, or you think it's all right?
We're gonna edit it a bit, but I think it's pretty good.